Stone Soup, a fable puppeteered by Mateo, Kenneth, Stella, and Cynthia. Once upon a time there was a great famine upon the land. 2 soldiers, hungry and weary from battle, came upon a small and poor village. 2 villagers, suffering from a very small harvest and tired from many years of war, saw a soldier coming up a hill. Quickly they hid from sight what little they had to eat. After a while they met up with the soldiers at the village square. "There's not a whole bite to eat in this entire state," they told the soldiers. "You better just keep moving on to the next village." "Oh, but we have everything we need," the soldiers said. "In fact, I was thinking of making some stone soup to share with all of you. You, ma'am, look hungry. Would you like some?" "Stone soup? Ha! What a ridiculous thing," the villagers exclaimed. "You can't make soup from a stone." But the soldiers carefully reached into their pockets and slowly pulled out a smooth, round stone. They inspected their stones closely and smiled. "I have brought with me some wonderful stones that should make for a great and hearty soup. Do you have a large pot I might borrow to make my stone soup?" Overcome with hunger and unable to feed the guests staying at his inn, the local innkeeper was intrigued with the idea of making soup from stones. With help from the soldier, one of the villagers pulled a large iron cauldron from the kitchen of her inn and placed it in the center of the village square. The soldiers then filled it with water and built a roaring fire underneath the pot. Then, with great ceremony, the soldiers took the stones they collected on their travels and placed them one by one into the water. They waited for their stone soup to come to a boil, stirring occasionally with a large wooden spoon. "Do you know what would really help this soup?" one of the soldiers said. "A big dash of salt and pepper. You can't have a good stone soup without salt and pepper, after all." Timidly, one of the lady villagers said, "Well, I think I might be able to find some salt and pepper that you might have. That is, if I can share in your stone soup." The soldiers quickly nodded and assured the villagers there would be plenty of stone soup to go around with such a large cauldron of soup. By now, hearing the rumor of food, all of the other villagers had come to the square, or were watching the events of the village square attentively from their windows. As the soldier carefully stirred and stirred the broth and sniffed at the broth, the villagers licked their lips in anticipation. The hunger that they felt began to cure their worries. "Ah," said the soldier rather loudly, "I do like a tasty stone soup. Of course, stone soup with cabbage is hard to beat. Cabbage really adds flavor to stone soup." After a few moments, a villager approached, hesitantly, holding a cabbage she had retrieved from its hiding place. She added it to the pot. Next, the other villager came up and inspected the pot and said, "You know, I have some carrots that would really add flavor and color to this soup." She ran off to her home to fetch the colorful vegetable. Yes, this will be a fine soup," said the soldier. "But a pinch of some parsley would really make this soup fit for a king." Up jumped the villager, crying, "What luck! I've just remembered where I have left some parsley." Off she ran, returning with an apron full of parsley, and with a turnip, too. As the kettle boiled on, the memory of the village improved. In short time, barley, salted beef, and rich cream had found their way into the great pot, and the soldier kept on stirring. The entire village sat down, once it was done, to a great feast. They ate and danced and sang well into the night, refreshed by the feast and delighting in their new friends. In the morning, the soldier awoke to find the entire village standing before him. At the soldier's feet lay a satchel filled with the village's best breads and cheeses. "You have given us the greatest of gifts, the secret of how to make soup from stones," said an elder. "Rest assured that this is something we will never forget, and we shall forever cherish." The soldier turned to the crowd and said, There may be no real secret to stone soup, but one thing is certain, it takes many and all to make a great feast. And with this, the soldiers accepted their satchel of breads and cheeses. Everyone danced a little bit more. And then the soldiers went on their way, never to return. It is said that after meeting these soldiers, the village quickly returned to its former riches and has thrived ever since. The end. Yeah.